Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It finally happened. I finally managed to buy a house. If you've been along for the house saga, you know it was a lot of up and down. It was a roller coaster. I almost bought another house, seller canceled. There's a whole story on that. But moral of the story is, at the end of the day, it happened. I found the right house for me, fit the bill perfectly, and it all went through, and we're here. We're at the house. So it's time for a tour. So if you saw the house hunting video, we went and looked at several houses. This was the very first one. And the reason, I think the biggest selling point to me on this house was the lot. The lot is incredible. We've got these super tall trees everywhere. I've got a bunch of scrap that's going out. It's boxed in on both sides with trees. So there's 25 feet of woods there that can't really be touched. And then I think there's 30 feet past the other side of my lot line that way of trees that can't be touched. So there's just trees everywhere and there's shade. And if you've seen other videos of me talking about buying a house, the trees and shade were like the biggest thing. Especially being in Florida on a hot day, there's just sun everywhere and there's no reprieve from the sun. I don't know, it's rough, it drains you. Whereas having all these trees and all this vegetation is so nice. So I've got this little pull around gravel driveway here, a bunch of landscaping here. I've got my green truck full of stuff that was left over. The sellers were selling it for their parents. I guess their parents passed away within like 6 months of each other. They couldn't get everything out in time. There was a lot of stuff here. So we've got a truckload of their stuff and my stuff to take from in the shop. Sprinklers are going. I tried to wait for them to end, but they weren't ending. But there's more landscaping. I guess they own a landscaping company is what the neighbors told me. The neighbors are super cool. I haven't met the one across the street, but I met the one kind of next door. Seemed super cool couple. But yeah, so pull through driveway here, which is handy for parking the dailies. Again, trees, vegetation. You can see all the shade over here. It's just no one that way, which is really cool. So here's the front of the house. It's normal looking house. Nothing too notable about the outside. Again, big trees. Like I say, this is, you can't just, that's something you can't change. I mean, I guess you could over the course of like 20, 30 years, but you can't just put a big giant tree in. You could plant one and hope it grows to that big in 30, 40 years, but you can't have it right now. So again, that was like the biggest selling point in the lot layout. The fact that it's a really wide lot instead of a deep lot. So I've got the house over there, and then up here is the shop. So we've got all this concrete here. I've got both my trailers parked back over here. So we've got the enclosed, we've got the open. It is a little bit of a rough snake to get the enclosed in here because I've got to basically hook it. The neighbors have a fence. Then there's this, which is like for the irrigation system. It's a pipe that sticks up. I put that barrel over it so I'd hit the barrel first. And then there's this tree here, but for me it's like a cardinal sin to remove a tree. So like I really should remove it. It'll make it way easier, but I don't know. For now, it's staying. We can fit the enclosed, we can fit the open. I could shove them back further, but it's like I feel bad even putting them here because the grass and stuff is so nice and pretty, maintained and aesthetically pleasing. I don't want to ruin it. So there's a magnolia tree back here that they planted. Nice shady back here. Here's like the back of the shop. It's got a lot of room back here. It's nice, it's shaded. Then you've got the gap between the house and the shop here. More trees. Another big tree. I think that's a magnolia tree. Some vegetation here. Another magnolia tree with some bird houses or squirrel. I don't know. I've seen squirrels in there. I don't know if they're bird houses or squirrel houses. But yeah, it's a nice shade back here. Back porch. Give you guys a tour of the house in a minute. But nice back porch. There's no pool, but I've had a pool everywhere I've lived for the past 10 years. It's just one of those things. I don't really care for a pool at this point in my life. We got nice concrete driveway here. It is 2 full cars wide, so I could, if I needed to, park cars here, still get into the garage. So the garage here, got my LS3 Miata, I got the Subaru in here, my go-kart's over there. My plan is to move the go-kart in front of the Miata, tuck the Miata over there a little bit more, and then kind of keep this area as like one wheel, pit bike, go-kart, like toys like that. That's kind of like my new parts area. Make a shelf here for all my new parts, and then have those trash cans over here. And then for right now, I've got my portable welding cart in here because it wouldn't fit through the door into the enclosed area of the shop. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, so anyway, this is not going to be a work area. My plan for this garage is to basically just make it, no, the showroom was a little bit too far of a term, like not trying to make it a showroom, but I like to like epoxy the floors and do some nice lighting, and just make it nice in here, like kind of like a showroom for the cars and stuff, and just storage for cars and toys like the go-kart and the pit bike and stuff. You know, I've got the pit bike over there. But yeah, so that's the garage. I'll show you the shop, and then I'll show you the house inside afterwards. But yeah, I mean, can you see the shade? Do you see the shade from the trees? It's so nice. Like, it's midday right now, and there's no sun blasting in. So here is the shop. So it is 32 by 50, something like that. So this area is open. It's got, you know, normal trusses and rafters, and it's insulated up by the roof. And it's got these beams. So the plan would be to close this in. I mean, it should be pretty easy. You basically add another couple boards down. Siding, the front would be a little tricky because I'd have to frame out for doors. If there's anyone on here who does this, I might just, if you know me, if you've watched my videos for a while, you know I like to do everything myself. That's like, it's just the way I am. I try to do everything myself. But after moving in here, it's dawned on me, I have enough projects. I don't need to necessarily do this one by myself. So if there's someone who does this for a living, you know, shoot me an email, contact me, let me know, and you know, we'll talk some details. I think I'm just gonna find someone to do this, help them if I can, and just get it done quick, because having this open, it's nice. Like, I would leave it if it weren't for like worrying about stuff being stolen, which I don't necessarily worry about that here. It's a nice quiet little area. There's only like 3 people on the street. It's very, very quiet and chill, but you know, it's a risk. Like, I don't want to leave my stuff out and someone could come grab it while I'm out of town. So I'm kind of in a hurry to get this closed in. I've got like my tires and stuff out here. If someone stole them, it's like, they're all used anyway. This is another thing that got left behind, this rack of wood. So I've got to do a fun dump run to get rid of that. Not looking forward to that. But I've got most of the old stuff out. But yeah, so right now, this is the dungeon here. So I've got some new lights. We'll be working on that this week. New lights to go up everywhere, inside and outside, but this is the enclosed area. So right now I have basically everything in here. I've got my tool cart, I've got the engines, I've got my nice wheels, I've got parts, consumables, welding cart, big toolbox. Like, luckily there's already a loft up here, so I've got like my nice wheels up there. I've got wheels without tires. I've got totes and totes of parts. Hung some stuff up in the rafters, some exhaust parts, things like that. Got my springs up there. It came with like all these workbenches and stuff. Then there's this, which is supposed to be a bath. It's plumbed to be a bathroom. As you can see, there's a toilet in here. There's like the drain. I'm taking this out. I haven't decided exactly yet if I'm going to leave that wall up, just put a post there and leave this little loft here, because I have like my bumpers and body panels up there, and it's a nice spot for storage. But I don't know. I might just put a post there and kind of keep this as a loft. We'll see. I've got to figure that out. But I'm definitely, I don't need a bathroom in here. The house is like right over there. And there's a cool little bathroom feature I'll show you when we go over there. But yeah, so here, the goal for this room, the plan is, basically I'd like to get a mill and a lathe. So basically I have a mill in the corner, have a lathe here, have this, I don't know if I'll keep this bench or build a metal one, as a cutting table. So for my bandsaw, my cold cut saw, things like that, be able to cut stuff, and then have a separate welding table either over here or over here, and keep that as a dedicated welding table. Because before I had all my cutting stuff on the welding table, and you'd get metal shavings everywhere, and it was just always dusty and a mess. So I'd like to keep the two separate. And if I have a mill and a lathe, that's been a goal for so freaking long now, if I have both of those things, I can make anything. You know, I can weld, I can fabricate, cut, bend, all that stuff, but I can't mill anything, I can't lathe anything. So if I have those two, I mean, it really, the possibilities are endless to what I can make for my cars, and it just opens up so many doors. So, you know, I have the room, I want to do it. I don't know what I would do on this wall. I'm not 100% sure yet. I might make stairs up to there. I don't know, but that's kind of the gist. Part storage up there like I have it now, that'll basically stay the same. I would like to close this in, or spray foam insulate it, drywall it or plywood wall it or something like that, close off the roof, and AC this section. You know, it's already separated. I'd like to put a double door here, just so I can get big stuff in and out. But then the idea would be have this all nice and insulated and nice walls and all that stuff, and AC it. And then basically, you know, machining, fab work, cutting, all of that stuff I can do in here. If I'm putting an engine together, I can have the AC on and do it in here. And since I'd be ACing such a small place in comparison to the whole shop, I could actually hopefully keep it reasonably cool in here, and then just have to sweat it out when I'm working out there on the cars. But that's my rough game plan. I wouldn't have gone out of my way to separate this room if I was building this shop myself. But since it's already separated, it's like I might as well kind of take advantage of it and split it into 2 separate spaces. So, you know, this is going to go out there. That's going to go out there. A lot of this stuff is going to leave. Aside from the stuff up here, I'll probably have the wheels out there too. A lot of these shelves are going to go. I might save like 1 or 2 of them and just paint them. So that's the plan for the inside. So out here, what the plan is, basically lift there. So we'll have 2 lifts. And then this side is going to be basically almost all tires. So I'm going to have a tire rack starting probably about 2 feet past this pole, tire rack that way, and I'm gonna have racking that goes all the way across this back wall, have it kind of go over the door area. Under it here, have tire machine, balancer, and then, you know, tires and all that stuff here. So I've got everything in one location. I grab a wheel off, dismount the tire, grab a new tire, put it on, all right in this corner, but kind of end it far enough to where when the car's on the lift, I've got plenty of room to work around it. On this side, basically the same thing. Shelf probably 2 to 4 feet this way of this pole, and then this would be in progress car parts. So like, you know, new parts that are going to go on a car or parts that I've taken off a car, like the Safiro. You know, I've got all this stuff piled in totes, and instead I would have that on a shelf and maybe have, you know, 4 shelves, so I could have 2 car projects taken apart, you know, have the parts that came off shelf and then have new parts going on shelf. So I can kind of keep everything organized as I take cars apart and put them back together, and then have more storage up here along the top, and then under that have, you know, my toolbox, a nice workbench, bolt bin, pegboard, stuff like that. So this, from basically this side over is tools and car parts, this side over will be tires, tire machine, things like that, and then again the 2 lifts. So that is kind of my rough game plan to set it up. Very, very excited to get it all sorted out. It's definitely a lot that needs to be done, but man, I gotta say, it feels good. It feels good to have my own, like when I was in here for hours last night, throwing stuff away and sorting my stuff and getting it all put up. And it feels so good to have a place that's 100% mine to do exactly what I want with, not having to work around anybody else's stuff, and having so much room to really spread things out and keep them nice and organized. I'm a very kind of OCD organized person, so it's so cool to finally have a space that's 100% mine to set up exactly how I want it. So that is the rundown on the shop, the game plan on the shop. Like I said, I've got my trailer parking over here, and you can kind of see how wide the shop is. Like, it is super wide. I'll have plenty of room between each car and then from each car to the wall, which is nice. All right, now that we have covered the outside, did I mention the trees and the shade? I love the trees, love the shade. We will go to the inside. Got a freaking lizard. Kyle from the Booster Boys is here and made fun of me for not liking lizards. There's a bunch of them. Look at him running. He would have thrown one of those at me. Look at it, there's another one. So I need to trim this back some. So we got this nice like brick landing, I guess you would call it. And we come inside here. I'm gonna take my shoes off. So we've got tile here, and then bamboo floors through here. So this is the formal dining room. I think it's silly. Even people I know who are like straight up adults, like almost never use their formal dining room. So I've got to figure out what to do with this room. I don't want it to be a formal dining room. I think that's silly. So this is the living room. As you can see, my desk did not fit through the door into my office. I even took the door off the hinges. It's a little too big to fit into my office. Plus, I'm getting a new desk anyway. This was a desk I found for free, and I'm ready to move on. I hate the look of this desk. I've got a new desk coming, but for now I've got this as a convertible station. So we've got my PC with my 2 monitors and stuff for editing, and then when I'm not working on my computer, I just set my TV up here. I picked up a couch after I moved in. Me and Marco came by. We tracked this down on Facebook Marketplace. We drove like 45 minutes to go get it because it fit the space perfectly. And on the way back, it poured down rain, like monsoon poured down rain. So it was soaked. I had to like shop vac it and leave it outside for a day in the sun. But it's in here, it fits nice, it's comfy, so we're good there. But yeah, so this is the living room. It's got vaulted ceilings, which I really like. Come in here, this is gonna be like, you know, a small table eating area, and this is going to be the eating area. Like I said, don't want a silly formal dining room. This is where we're going to eat. This is good for me. Here's the kitchen. So a little dated, but like you know, I'm not one of those people who really cares that much. Maybe eventually fix this up with new countertops and stuff, but I like the layout. It's got this nice big island. It's got this cool stove with a freaking flat top skillet. Nobody else seems to care about that has come here, but I think it's cool. Got a nice fridge, but the fridge doesn't have a freaking water thing. Like, why would you have a fridge without a water thing? Plenty of cabinet space, microwave, big pantry. Probably at least paint the cabinets, change the handles, do that kind of stuff. One thing, the biggest selling point to me on this house was that it wasn't a freshly renovated house. The people who own this house, they built it in '98, and they've lived here since then until they passed away, and then their kids sold it. So it's not like a house that's been passed around and kind of got beat to crap, and then someone came in, a contractor, and just renovated it as cheap as possible and just did what would sell it. You know what I mean? It's just a house that's been well taken care of. It's like a low mileage, one owner car versus like a car that's been refreshed with new parts. That's the way I look at it, at least. So that was kind of a big selling point to me, and it was a custom built house. So there's a lot of cool features. Like, it's got these, I mean, this is something you could put anywhere, but it's got these cool blinds, and they just like pull down, and then when you're done, you just push them up. Super nice. So you can get the full effect of all the windows being open with no blinds, but then you just pull them down and you got, at night, you got them closed. So yeah, living room, kitchen. I guess I'll show you real quick these two rooms back here. Really like the floors, definitely one of my favorite features. So we've got what's gonna be my office. As you can see, I have a lot of unpacking to do, but I have a lot of stuff. Gotta go through it, I gotta get rid of some stuff, but I wanna make this a really cool area, do some cool lighting and do, you know, shelves and hang my stuff on the walls and paint it and yada yada. I'm excited about this, and it's got a big closet, so I want to do like wood shelves in there, nice lighting in there, and have that as kind of like a place to store all my camera gear, all nice and organized. And there's a theme, nice and organized. That's what I like. So a weird thing, but kind of a cool thing about this house. So you can't get to the bathroom from here. You have to go through here, which is going to be essentially the guest room. And then the bathroom is in here. This is like essentially the guest bathroom. So you think, oh, that's kind of odd. Like, why isn't there a door directly to the guest bathroom? Well, I'll show you why. You go out here onto the porch. Boom, we got a full-on outdoor half bath. I don't know why, I think this is so cool. When I'm working in the shop, I can just walk through the yard over here, boom, walk over into the bathroom without having to track dirt or walk in and out of the house with my greasy hands. So that's nifty. This again is the back porch. We got a storage closet here. Some stuff left in there I gotta get rid of. But nice little storage closet. We got 2 fans, which is cool because there's a light switch in here, and one switch turns the fans on, and the other switch turns the lights on. So you can have either or. So I thought that was pretty nifty. And then it's got the lighting up there. I've got some bulbs to replace. And then the last step, the master bedroom. So there's this little trophy area. I need to get a trophy or something to fill that. And then it's got the bamboo floors in here. It's got French doors, same kind of blinds. So I've got to get some new furniture. But for now, I've just got it set up with my little bit of stuff. So my dresser, my bed, my nightstand. But it's a nice sized bedroom. And then there's a huge bathroom. I have always had small bathrooms in my life, and this thing is massive. It's got the little toilet room. It's got dual sinks, so it's got a sink on each side. So that'll be mine, that'll be Chrissy, so she can have her own sink. It's got dual closets, which is pretty cool. Dual big walk-in closets. And then the shower door is backwards. It opens in, it should open out. But big walk-in shower, whatever you want to call that kind of shower. It's got this tub, the coolest feature. Boom! You can see the shop from the window. How cool is that? You can literally just look outside the window. You'd be taking a bath, looking at the shop. I'm almost sad I have to close the shop in, because then I won't be able to see my cars from in here. Anytime I come in here, I'm like, oh dang, I forget I can see my cars up there. It's pretty dope. So anyway, this is the master bathroom. So overall, I really like the house. I've been here for a few days, and I really love the house. Even more so than I thought I would. Definitely a bigger, nicer house than I intended on getting. I wasn't really looking for, some big fancy house. But when you're trying to find a big enough lot set up the way it is, it's hard to find a small house with a big lot, basically. And it's hard to find anything that's already got a shop. As much as I didn't necessarily need this much house, it fit the bill in every way, so it is what it is, Also, we got a big laundry room here, which is kind of nice. And then, boom, door out into the garage. So I'm also really excited that I have a garage and the shop, you know, and the ability to have those two spaces separate. I can have the work area in the shop and then have nice covered storage in here. Keep my nice cars in here. Subaru's got nice paint on it. I don't have to leave it outside baking in the sun anymore. I need to wash it, obviously. And then the Miata can stay in here. I don't have to put the windows in every time I push it outside to work on something. So definitely nice to have this separately as well. And like I said, man, the lot, I love the lot. It's so, every time I walk out here, it puts a smile on my face. Just all the trees and the shade and the nature. And yeah, so I mean, I have 2 car spots in there. And then when I have the 2 lifts, I'll have 4 spots in here. I can park 2 cars under the lift, 2 cars on the lift. So I can park 6 cars inside. And then I've got the loop around driveway for daily. So it's like my truck, my other truck, and then my girlfriend's truck can go on the other end. And then still have this whole area open, which will be really nice. So yeah, that is pretty much the old grand tour. It finally happened. I am beyond stoked. I can't even, I mean, I guess it really still hasn't sunk in yet that it actually happened, especially because of all the headaches and the trials and the tribulations I went through with that first house. And then, you know, I mean, I spent months searching, trying to find the right setup that already had a shop, and I found this place. Yeah, man, it all worked out. And if you saw the first house video, when that one fell through, you know, that was a huge bummer, but now that this one has worked out, I am so happy that that one fell through. You know, I figured it happened for a reason, but being here and being set up in this place, I mean, I just love it. I love it. It's exactly what I was looking for. It's so much better than the other place. And what's crazy is it was more expensive than the other place because the other place needed a lot of work. But where the other place was and the condition it was in and all that stuff, the insurance was so much more expensive on the other place that this place only ends up being like $40 more a month. So I thought that was pretty interesting. It's something I didn't really think about when I originally started looking for a house. Jabbering on enough. We are here. We're gonna be doing some shop setup stuff this week. We'll be getting new lights in and organizing and setting things up. And then we're gonna be getting back to work on the K-Swap Zafiro build. So we've got a lot to do, lots of house projects, lots of shop projects, lots of car projects. So I hope to see you guys for all of it. And I just wanna thank you all so much for the support. I'm not gonna get all sappy on you, but you know, I really couldn't do this without you guys. It wouldn't be possible. So I'm gonna try not to go down the rabbit hole of explaining it because there's no way to really, truly express how I feel. But thank you, more or less. Thank you for watching the videos, liking, commenting, subscribing, buying merch. You know, all of that is the reason that I'm able to do this and finally have my own setup to do exactly what I want with and expand and have more projects and have more room, have 2 lifts, and so I'm stoked. I know it's like I said, it still hasn't really sunk in yet. It really hasn't, but we're here, we did it. That's about all there is to it. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to support the channel, link to merch below. We've got a bunch of stuff in stock for all the designs, and all the pre-orders have gone out or are going out as we speak. So yeah, if you're interested in helping support the channel, that's one way to do it. Another way to help support this move in the channel is just Amazon links. So put links in the description. It's Amazon affiliate link. So that helps support the channel, and then Patreon as well. Those of you who are on Patreon have already seen this house. You already know everything about this. You already know what's going on. It's really nice to have the Patreon group. It's like a good group of people who I can talk to and share stuff with, and they were with me through the whole house buying journey, so they know the struggle. But anyway, again, I'm gonna quit blabbering on. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I hope to see you guys for the next video, but for now, it's gonna be it for this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Goodbye.